here's my preview of the number 5 Baylor versus number 8 UCLA men's basketball game. This is a consolation game here. And I tell you one thing, UCLA is not known for their front court scoring as much, if I'm being completely honest here. First of all, the best player in terms of points per game is Tiger Campbell, number 10, 5'11" inch, 180-pound guard. That's a senior. 16.3 points per game, 9 for 24 on threes, 2 for 2 on free throws, 4.3 assists per game, 1.8 turnovers per game, 1.8 steals per game, 1.5 fouls per game. Jalen Clark is number 0, 6'5" inch, 210-pound guard. That's a junior, 14.8 points per game, 7 for 13 on threes, 6 for 8 on free throws, 7.5 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game, 2.5 turnovers per game, 3.5 steals per game, and 2.5 fouls per game. Jimmy Jasquez Jr., number 24, 6'7" inch guard, 225-pound guard. That's a senior, 14.5 points per game, 4 for 11 on threes, 6 for 11 on free throws, 6.3 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists per game, 2.8 turnovers per game, 1.3 steals per game, and 2.3 fouls per game. David Singleton, number 34, 6'4" inch, 205-pound guard. That's a senior, 13.5 points, 13.3 points per game, 13 for 22 on threes, which is the best on the team. So 6 for 6 on free throws, 4.5 rebounds per game, and 1.3 fouls per game. Which some of that stuff that I didn't include so far is 0.5 or less, so it doesn't make sense to mention that. Amari Bailey, number 5, 6'5" inch, 185-pound guard. That's a freshman. 9 points per game, 1 for 7 on threes, 1 for 7 on free throws, 3.5 rebounds per game, 2.3 assists per game, 2 turnovers per game, 1.3 steals per game, and 1.5 fouls per game. Adem Bana, number 3, 6'10" inch, 235-pound forward. That's a freshman. Now that's a forward you gotta mention here. 7 points per game, 5 for 9 on free throws, 5 rebounds per game, 0.7 steals, 1.3 blocks, 0.7 turnovers, and 2.3 fouls per game. Kenneth Nwamba, something like that, number 14, NWUBA, 6'10" inch, 255-pound forward. That's a senior, 2.5 points per game. No threes nor free throws attempted on the year. 2.3 rebounds per game, 1 block per game, 1 turnover per game, and 2.3 fouls per game. I know Bremo Conca didn't play last game, but I might as well mention him. Number 1, 6'6" inch, 200-pound guard. That's a freshman. 2.3 points per game, 1 for 3 on threes, 2 for 2 on free throws. Dylan Andrews, number 2, 6'2" inch, 270-pound guard. That's a freshman. 1.8 points per game, 0 for 1 on threes, 1 for 3 on free throws, and 1 foul per game. Everyone else is 1.3 points per game or less. So I'm not going to go ahead and mention those guys. But I tell you one thing, you got to defend better. If you're Baylor, from the Baylor perspective, they have to play better defense, especially on the three-point line. That's where Virginia caught fire in the game. I mean, that's besides that 24-2 run. I mean, it's the truth. So I'm not going to lie about that. Obviously, you need to force more turnovers than last game, and limit those transition points as well as second chance points, and don't let the opposing team get so many free throws in the game. Actually, Virginia they committed 14 turnovers in the game, which is pretty good, though it might have been, try to get more than that. But I tell you what, you gotta not foul as much in this game if possible, because I think clearly the foul, I know some of those calls were questionable last game, but you gotta let it, and you just try to focus on this here and now. Of course, you gotta play good defense while not fouling, and speed them up. And you gotta limit the drives more, And of course, don't allow any huge runs like that Virginia run they had, 24-2 to start the second half. You got to play a 40 minutes and not a good 30 minutes, because that 10-minute stretch in the second half, that's what ultimately did Baylor in. If I'm being completely honest, sure, the referees are questionable, but they just allowed Virginia to get going, and it's too much to come back from. Now, on offense, you got to find a way to take care of the ball better than you did last game with 13 turnovers. Of course, on defense, I forgot to mention, try to get more steals than last game, and try, if possible, you could get a little more blocks, or about the same, or in more blocks, or just very contest every shot really, really good. Now, on offense, you got to take care of the ball better than you last did, especially in transition, when I know there was at least 2 turnovers in transition. It's like, and you got to make more shot. You shot the ball well from 3, 11 for 26 last game, and 20 for 58 overall for the game. Hopefully you can get more threes in the games, and hopefully Jalen Bridges, he needs to play better. In my opinion, he needs to. In the last game, he only had 2 points. Both of those were free throws, 0 for 3 from 3, and 0 for 5 from the field. He needs to play a little bit better. Flo Thamba had 6 points, which is his average. I mean, 3 for 3. And really, we need Dale Bonner to play a little bit better as well, coming off the bench. Because he only had 4 points, 1 from 3 from the field, 0 for 2 on free throws, but made both his free throws though. So, I'm just saying those specific guys because I know they didn't do as well. I can't really say anything about Langston Love. He only played 4 minutes, and he had 2 fouls and no points, 0 for 1 from the field, which is a 3. So he forced that one up. Gale Lohner did pretty good as well, so he needs to continue what he did last game in terms of point production. Of course, granted, you won for 4 for 4 on free throws, or 3 for 4, but he made the next 2 after he missed the first 2. Of course, you gotta make your free throws count, which you kind of did in this past game against Virginia. Granted, you missed the first 2 free throws, you went perfect for the rest of the way. So, and you gotta get some second chance points, fast break points. Like I said, limit your turnovers. Of course, limit your fouling period on both ends of the floor, and you gotta make adjustments on the fly. Because I know it's important to make adjustments during the game whenever something's not working, offensively or defensively. But either way, I mean, the fouling needs to be cut significantly based on this past game. I mean, 24 fouls. I mean, come on. That's too many fouls in a game here. So, that's just a rundown on UCLA men's basketball. And I tell you what, this is a huge game for both teams here. Because I think for the AP poll, the winner of this game stays in the top 10. The loser, they're out. So, I'm just being completely honest here. And I know the guys don't want to go 0-2. Neither team wants to go 0-2 in Las Vegas here. I know they don't. So, and that's the truth. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. It's going to get me up to 400 subscribers or more by the end of this year or sometime in the future.